how to actually recover from burnout without quitting your job. Take intentional breaks. You might have suspected that taking some time away from work would be the number one item on this list. After all, an unmanageable workload is a primary cause of burnout. And granted, taking a full-scale vacation is an amazing thing to do when dealing with burnout, if you can swing it. But there are also ways to incorporate bits of mental downtime into your schedule right now. No time off request required. Sargent recommends adding intentional break time into your work calendar, and it's something she's taken to doing personally. Proactively prioritizing time off has been a crucial element of my relief journey and how I support my clients, she says. These are short periods where my only focus is to do things that help me feel better mentally, physically, and emotionally. Advocate for yourself at work. Speaking up about your feelings of burnout to your boss or teammates, if possible, can help initiate a change in workload or workflow that frees up a bit more of your time. Perhaps there's work you didn't realize could be done by someone else on your team. Or maybe there's a way to shuffle your schedule so you're on fewer meetings during the hours when you feel most productive. In any case, it's easier to instigate change if you alert others as to how you feel. Not to mention, the act of advocating for yourself can help restore your sense of agency at work. And given that a lack of control is one of the main drivers of burnout noted above, even just reclaiming your power to use your voice can help mitigate feelings of burnout. Set clear work-life boundaries. Part of what you might propose to your manager when you discuss your feelings of burnout will likely have to do with boundaries, which are crucial to dealing with and recovering from burnout. Perhaps you need to set a boundary for the hours when you'll be reachable, because you're finding that your work time is creeping into downtime and contributing to your burnout. Or maybe, with the approval of your boss, you need to set a clear boundary for the number of work tasks you take on in a given week, or the number of clients or projects or team meetings you're assigned to handle in a given month or quarter, after which point you commit to turning down new items. If you can't meaningfully modify your work hours or workload, perhaps the boundary just looks like wearing headphones, if you work in an office, to signal "do not disturb" to people who might pass by your desk, says Sargent. Or a work-from-home boundary might involve simply shutting the door to the room you're working in to ensure you're not getting pulled into other tasks during the hours you've set aside for work. It's about carving out mental and physical space to get things done without distraction, says Sargent. Lean into a community of support. Burnout isn't a solo sport, says Sargent. It's important to lean on your family and friends who can love and support you through it, especially because the symptoms of burnout, like depressed mood and feelings of worthlessness, can make you do just the opposite and self-isolate, kicking off a vicious cycle of burnout and disconnection. Instead, Sargent recommends building a burnout battle team by making a list of the people who make up your closest support system, whether they're friends, partners, family members, or all of the above, and reaching out to them to express how you've been feeling. While they might have solutions or suggestions to help, chances are you'll also just feel better after speaking to them, as they can offer the appreciation and support you may be lacking at work or otherwise. Find at least a bit of meaning in your work. If you take stock of your professional life and reflect on your work, you may be able to notice the aspects of it that really drain you, and perhaps the bits that feel fulfilling or satisfying too. Dr. Leiter suggests taking note of what you find fulfilling and what you find overwhelming or frustrating each day for a couple weeks to get the lay of the land. From there, your problem-solving job is finding ways to spend a bit more time on the enjoyable work and less time on the unenjoyable work, he says. Shifting the ratio toward meaningful work can actually lessen feelings of burnout, even when you're still doing the not-so-great stuff. In a 2009 study of faculty members at a medical center, those who spent at least 20% of their time on the elements of their work that they deemed most meaningful were significantly less likely to be burned out. So if you can dedicate just an hour and a half of a typical 8-hour workday to something that fulfills you, you'll have a better chance of beating burnout. Dive into journaling. A regular journaling practice can help you break down your day and create a container for your feelings, which may help you feel like you have more of a grip on your burnout and what exactly is behind it. Remember the upsides of feeling in control and having agency? Journaling for a couple weeks and then reading back through entries can help you both uncover patterns. Is it the same type of project or work dynamic that seems to be causing me stress again and again? And also track how your mental health is progressing or changing over time while you're working on recovering from burnout. Eat more nutritious foods. It's easy to wind up neglecting your basic bodily needs when you're in the throes of burnout. So here's an important reminder. Eating helps your body work properly. Generally speaking, it will be nearly impossible to function and recover from the burnout you're experiencing if you're not nourished physically. In fact, prioritizing a diverse variety of nutritious foods, like lots of vegetables, fruits, and white meats, has even been shown to be associated with lower levels of burnout in a 2021 study of more than 600 employees in Finland. To get into a routine of healthy eating, easier said than done when dealing with burnout, consider meal prepping a few go-to snacks and meals on a Sunday or another day of the week when you're not as bogged down by work. This way, you don't have to use your already depleted brain power to also plan out nutritious food ideas during work days. Integrate a meditation practice into your daily routine. Starting or ending your day with a brief meditation can provide a much-needed moment of calm amid the overwhelm and exhaustion triggered by burnout. And over time, the effects of a regular meditation practice can also go much deeper, helping to mitigate some of the stress that underscores burnout in the first place. Indeed, extensive research has outlined the capacity of mindfulness-based practices, like mindfulness meditation, to help reduce anxiety, depression, and stress. And studies on meditation and burnout, specifically, have demonstrated similar benefits. In a 2021 study, teachers who received instruction on transcendental meditation, which involves the repetition of a mantra, and then practiced it twice daily for 20 minutes over a 4-month period, showed improvements in burnout versus a control group. And a 2023 review of studies assessing the benefits of mindfulness training on nurse burnout found a positive effect as well. Researchers suspect that the benefits of mindfulness-based interventions and meditation have to do with their power to bring you into the present moment. So much stress involves fretting over the past or worrying about the future, as well as tamp down your physiological reactivity to stressful events. If you don't know where to start, consider downloading a free meditation app or look up meditation tracks on Spotify or YouTube. Prioritize getting good sleep. Multiple research studies have found connections between insufficient sleep and burnout, which makes sense. Sleep and mental health have a reciprocal relationship, such that loss of sleep can worsen mental health, just as mental health problems can also lead to insomnia and sleep disturbances. To put an end to that vicious cycle, it's extra important to actively prioritize sleep when you're dealing with burnout, even if it feels like the last thing you have time for. If you're dealing with anxious or racing thoughts at night due to work, be sure to carve out periods during the day to address and even journal about those concerns. This way, they'll be less likely to crop up when you're just trying to doze off. Spend more time in nature. There's nothing quite like a walk in a natural setting to give you some broader perspective on the work stress you're dealing with and put you into a calmer state of mind. And it's not just about the fresh air and the mild exercise of the walk itself either, though both of those things can certainly help mitigate exhaustion and stress. The kind of visual stimuli found in nature, like flowers, greenery, and wooden tree trunks, has actually been shown to have a physiologically calming effect on the brain. Just what you need when burnout is threatening to get the best of you. Do non-work activities on the weekend. In a 2021 research study wherein 250-plus participants rated their burnout level on a Friday and the following Monday and also recorded their weekend activities, those who did work-related activities on the weekend had a lower recovery experience than those who did social, physical, or creative activities. Which is to say, if you can, it's important to avoid work stuff on the weekend. and to psychologically detach your brain from work when dealing with burnout, and to fill those days instead with things you enjoy doing in order to reap the maximum recovery benefits of those 2 days off.